Welcome back to the Blue Chip Breakdown, y'all. I'm your host, Bull. Today we're going to be early scouting Arkansas. That's Tennessee's third SEC game of the 2025 season, and it's going to be a big one. For me, I think this one is must win if Tennessee wants to make it to the college football playoffs. And we're going to be breaking things down, of course, inside of the film room, talking about where Tennessee struggled at last season. That's a game that obviously Tennessee lost. It was on the road. This year it's going to be inside of Neyland. The crowd will play a major factor in this one versus a very, very good offensive system. But as always, y'all, please do make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And we're going to start off right here with the depth charts for both teams. So Arkansas on paper with their offense, they have 12 blue chip caliber players. What you're going to see here is all the players in that gold color. Those are going to be the incoming transfers. The players in that pink looking color, those are going to be the incoming freshmen. And this roster is probably more talented than what it says on paper. All the star ratings come from 24/7 Sports. But what we know about Bobby P's system, y'all, is that it is extremely, I'm not even going to say necessarily complicated for the players, but it's complicated for the defense to get figured out. They have elements of everything. Even Coach Heupel's system is a lot of pro-style elements. They're going to run RPOs. They're going to put a lot of stress on the defense. And I think that Tennessee actually had a really good game plan versus it after going through watching several games. If you look at the stats, Texas did the best job versus them from that perspective, but really it was more of a lack of execution from Arkansas because people were still running wide open. But either way, we know that Bobby P is going to do a good job of getting the most out of his quarterbacks, out of his wide receivers, out of his tight ends, running backs, all that good stuff. And of course, Sam Pittman is probably the best offensive line coach in the whole country. So they will be good. Like their offense was good last season. It's going to be good again this year. This is going to be Taylor Green's second year in the system. Expect for him to take a step forward. And listen, 6'6", 230 pounds. He can run, he can throw. So it's not going to be an easy game by any means from that standpoint. Now let's look at Tennessee's defense. We have a total of 27 blue chip caliber players. We've looked at this several times now. We know where the talent's at and all that good stuff. I think that we're built to be able to slow down what this offense likes to do outside of the fact of they're going to target linebackers and safeties a lot. We don't really know will the linebackers take that step forward in 2025. I feel like they will, but the safeties, it's a lot of unproven players there. Not even, I mean, we only have, 4 or 5 guys inside of our safety room. So that's my biggest concern, I would say, for our defense. Now let's take a look at Arkansas's defense. And y'all can see that I have 9 blue chip caliber players. They've got players, though, that are just very, versatile. They're really good athletes. The linebackers can cover and do a lot of different things. The defense will be multiple, where they can go 3-3-5, 4-2-5, whatever. It just, last season, they gave us a whole lot of 3 deep looks. We're going to talk about that. And now we can look at Tennessee's offense on paper, a total of 22 blue chip caliber players. If the quarterback steps up in this one, I think that we'll be fine. The offensive line should definitely take a step forward. And I'm definitely looking forward to breaking down how I think Tennessee's going to be able to execute in 2025. So let's start off with Arkansas's passing game versus Tennessee in 2024. They went 21 of 30 for 297 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. These numbers don't look great, okay, to us on paper, but that's about what they did to everybody, y'all. Really, I would say the only team that they didn't pass for, I think, 200 or more yards on was Texas. And again, a lot of that was just miscues by the offense some type of way. They still had people running wide open, and it's based off of this. So this is the play art, and there's several principles. I did a lot of research on Bobby P's offense, and I'm telling you, it is very tough to stop. What they do pretty much is they come up to the line of scrimmage, just like everyone else, really, and they're looking to see what coverage are you in. I just think that Bobby P is so well versed with it, and he does such a good job of teaching it to his offense that they almost always know exactly what the coverage is for that defense, and they will pretty much change the whole play, all the route combinations and stuff. They have option routes just like Tennessee. This is kind of like built into most of their schemes. But either way, they will find the openings in your defense, and they will have route combinations to beat it. So here, Tennessee's playing cover 2. You see that they love to run the seams. You're going to see a whole lot of that. And of course, the pass is going to the route that's in gold. I've got the players highlighted in gold on our defense that I feel like could have helped to make this play, but it's tough. You know what I'm saying? It's really, really tough whenever this is a cover 2 beater. We're running cover 2, right? So guys are wide open. They're on time. Typically, most of what they do is quick game stuff. Even if it's down the field, it's 2-step drop, it's 3-step drop. At the top of the drop, you're throwing it. They'll also do these mesh concepts that we've looked at this several times too. Running backs on flats coming out of the backfield, that's a major problem. But all these crossing patterns, Arion Carter playing at linebacker, he's going to get thrown off here. He's going to go the wrong way. Obviously, someone's wide open. They're big on getting the ball to your playmakers and then them getting up the field. They work on that extensively. So very, very tough offense here. this is another situation where, Tennessee's got a safety that's showing deep coverage, but they're going to come down into the box. How Bobby P knew that this was going to happen pre-snap, or coming into this game, I probably should say, I don't know, but he picked up on some tendencies and he's able to hit it. So this backside crossing pattern is where they're going to go. And y'all can see they've got the switch routes going on up top and wide open. You know what I'm saying? So this is what they can do. And that's off of a boot, right? Like they're showing you run, know that the safety's going to bite down on that run. And then they've got someone that's coming, right to his area. So just very, very tough. Here we've got a running back coming out of the backfield on a wheel route. That's Arion Carter that doesn't pick him up. Everything else looks pretty good, I think, with our coverage down the field. But, if you have one bust like this, they will get the ball to their playmakers and let them make some big-time plays. So we got to be better at that in 2025. I think that we will be. Do I know that we will be? I can't say that yet. So here we've got a crossing pattern coming from the top of the screen. It's going to be pretty much one-on-one coverage. That's going to be J-Mac, who's going to get the start somewhere on Tennessee's our defense, I think, in 2025. But having to carry this all the way to the other side of the field, very tough, especially because you're seeing that little hook route right there. It's going to kind of pick off J-Mac on this. So it's tough to cover that. Tennessee is blitzing. We get a little bit of pressure, get the quarterback outside of the pocket, but it's just, whenever you have a quarterback that can move and throw on the run and all that, it's tough. Another one of the principles to their offense is that if the cornerbacks, especially on the outside, are up at the line of scrimmage playing press, they're pretty much always going to throw that fade, three-step drop. Again, everything that they do is pretty much going to be quick game stuff, even though it's down the field. So they do a great job with that, just putting stress on your defense, and it's tough to even be able to get home. Even when you blitz in a perfect pass, a perfectly run route is going to win every single time. Tennessee blitzed, I want to say, about 48, 49% of the time last season versus them. So we wanted to blitz them. We wanted to put pressure on them. And again, exactly what the game plan was, I couldn't tell you. I have a, general understanding of it, but, I think that we did a pretty good job there. You can't really stop this offense. You can only try to slow it down. So here we're in cover two. They come up to the line of scrimmage, and the two options would be the tight end on that seam route, or it's going to be to this outside wide receiver, which is where they're going to throw it on this fade. And of course, they've got the running back to occupy the flats to keep that cornerback down low and open things up. But you'll see two people really come open there. So you have to try to show things very late versus that offense. And if you don't, then they will absolutely pick you apart. And we'll talk some more once we get, towards the end of this thing about how, some other things that I think Tennessee can do to try to help us get some pressure on the quarterback. So this is Tennessee's passing game in 2024. This is really just all the bad plays. So we went 17 of 29 for 158 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. And like we said, man, they had a good game plan versus Tennessee's offensive system. We were just way too vertical with most of our route combinations. On this one, we only have one guy that's going down the field that's actually looking for the football. Everyone else is just running routes. They're not really even running real routes. They're just running things off. So the quarterback gets to the top of the drop. You can see that they're playing deep coverage. This looks like cover 4. Everything is covered up, even though, again, no one's really even looking for the daggone football, but the pressure is coming from both ends. And, whenever the quarterback gets to the top of the drop, pressure's closing in on them. Nobody's looking back for the football. These are the types of things that will happen. But the biggest issue overall for Tennessee's offense in 2024 versus Arkansas was the offensive line was banged up, beat up. I think that we weren't really focused, you know what I'm saying? Just like the pass pro from top to bottom, not just with the O-line, but with the backs, with the ends, was not good. So I think it's going to be significantly better in 2025. But here you can see what the ends are doing from 40 on that right side. That's an NFL guy now. He just freaking beats the daggum tight end there, easily beats him. And then on the left side, we're going to get a spin move to the inside. Actually, John Campbell does a pretty good job of coming back and cleaning that up, taking out 2 people. But at that point, it's just too late because everyone else is getting beat, right? Even on daggum double team. So this is that 3-deep look that they did a ton of. They want to show you 3-deep, say, hey, y'all can run on this or y'all can throw it underneath. And what they did is they would bring somebody, one of those safeties, they would bring them up to the box, kind of like post snap, like kind of late. So this is actually a run pass option. Nico's looking at the safety that's going to creep up to the line of scrimmage, come up to the box. If he comes up, then we're going to throw this thing to the outside. So, we had some things that were kind of drawn up to try to beat it. And actually, we've got a guy open. This pass needs to be thrown. We've got the time here. We got to step into that thing and let it go. But we don't. So, obviously, quarterback was still kind of new at this point. And, that is a major, major problem. So you're going to see what the blitzes look like from those backers. The purple, that's the safety that we showed you earlier that's just coming down to the box to help out with this run. If it turns into a run, But watch what Miles Kittelman does here. This is part of the reason I said I just don't feel like we're totally focused. Watch him. He's going to get blown up here, which, I mean, that rarely ever happens with a guy like Miles. So I just feel like maybe something happened leading up to this game and we just was not on point. But this time with the game being in Neyland, being at home, I think that we will most definitely be locked in. So 3 deep look. We're going deep on the outside. The one up at the top was really more open than the one down at the bottom. But we're working on this, faking this screen to that slot guy. Okay, so we're going to pump fake that, make the safety bite up, make sure that, hey, this is one-on-one, and then just throw it up. Wasn't very accurate, but at the same time, watch this on this blitz. The pickup is not very good. And this is, I think that it's Cooper Mays that he just doesn't do the best job there. And I mean, it really wasn't terrible. We just kind of like moved over to that spot. So either way, it's miscues like that that can throw off, a whole offensive scheme. 3 deep look. Y'all can see what the route combinations look like. Pretty much vertical stuff. And then we've got the blitzer coming off of the bottom down there. So, pressure's getting there. And really, we have a guy here that we probably should have tried to throw this. Now, the pressure's getting there. You might not feel totally comfortable making this throw, but a veteran quarterback, I think that if Joey is our guy, I think that he'll be able to make this pass. I think that he will make this pass. And, we'll get the first down from it. So will a guy like Merck or, will GMAC make the throw? I think that they might. I mean, there's no real telling. We have a small sample size from those guys, but I'm just kind of pointing out some things. It wasn't always just on the offensive line or on the pass pro. Sometimes it was on the quarterback too. Right here, I mean, man, Bishop does a really poor job picking up this blitz here. I mean, we just can't have that. So, we have to do better from that standpoint. We talk about that all the time. The running backs have to do a much better job with their pass pro. Here, I just wanted to show you how cover 3 looks, okay? So this is cover 3. This is the routes that we're running. Pretty much everyone would have been open if we had the time, pretty much. Outside of maybe the tight ends route, okay, on that little crosser. Might not have been open right on his end, but everybody else should have been open. The problem is it's taking them a while to get into their route. And because the pass pro is not good, quarterback has got to, try to get out of there. He can't even let the people get into their routes. So that was another one of the things. We actually tried to go underneath with the tight end crosser, but that probably wasn't the best option. We probably should have had him maybe sit it down somewhere just so that, hey, just in case with this stunt, if we don't get it picked up, we can get the football out quick. But you would expect that you can, I mean, you have 4 people coming, what is it? Is it 4? Might be 5. I think it's 4. Either way, we had enough people to be able to pick this up. One of the things that I will say about the guards that Tennessee just got in, Wendell Moy might be the best guy at picking up stunts that I've seen all of last year. Really, really good. And Pendleton, he's not too far off of that. So I think that the stunts will get picked up better. The biggest question mark is going to be, what does the center look like? Because the center is going to be a major part of stunts too. So, will Sat, if he's the starter, will he be able to pick it up well? We just don't know at this point. So either way, that's some of the stuff that versus this defense, you've got to be able to do. They love to run stunts. They're going to bring different blitzes and things like that. And they do a pretty good job of hiding what they're in, right? So hopefully y'all have noticed that. Here, this is man-to-man coverage, and you see that the blitz is coming off of that left side. Now, the guy that's closest to the bottom that is blitzing, that running back is coming out of the backfield to the flats. Typically, he would pick that up, right? Like if this is man-to-man coverage, you would typically see that, hey, he's going to pick that up because there's no one else on that side of the field to be able to cover the running back in man. But what Arkansas does is they're going to cover him in man with the backside backer. So that's not very typical. Again, this might look like man to you, but you get thrown off for just enough time that it could let that blitz end up getting home. We're going to end up going up top, though, on this little comeback, on that, whatever hitch. And, we got pressure right in our daggum face. I think this was like a 3rd down, 4th down, whatever. But because we're not even picking up blitzes, right, we go to the outside guy first and not the inside guy. I have no idea why, but, we can't make an accurate pass. So we have to do a much better job from that standpoint. And I feel like Coach Heupel will have some things drawn up to help us. And we will be looking at what Ole Miss did versus this same defense. And they run the same scheme as what Tennessee runs. So y'all can see how this stuff, should look. Either way, this is going to be like cover 3 cloud. So you can see where the cover 3's at with those zones, with those 3 players playing deep. Underneath it, it's I think this is like a match 3 match cloud. So it's going to basically turn into man for everyone else unless they're blitzing. You see that one linebacker is blitzing. Just kind of showing you that we had routes that should have been able to beat this. I think that, Arkansas did a good job of knowing what Tennessee was trying to do. So we have to do a better job of maybe, mixing some things up. This is how the stunt looks, okay? But even still, like we had a chance to be able to hit on this. This is another, 3rd down, 4th down. something like that. The ball is actually very accurate. It's just not caught, but that's a tough catch. So now let's look at Ole Miss, what they did versus Arkansas in 2024. They went 28 of 34 for 562 yards, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. We're going to look at a couple of their plays. I could have shown you like 30 of them. You know what I'm saying? Just because they had a field day, with this defense. So on this first play, what they do a great job of, again, same scheme. We talk about this with Ole Miss, with Mississippi State. The 3-step drop, if you get one-on-one coverage, just take the 3-step drop and throw it up for grabs. Tennessee did not do enough of this in 2024, but I think that we'll do more of it in 2025 because I've seen our guys doing it already. But whenever you do that, you're either going to get a catch, a playmaker making a play, which Tennessee's got the guys on the outside that can do the same thing, or you're going to get PI for the most part. So, that's a very simple pass, but I've seen Joey doing it, at his previous school. I've seen Merck doing it. I've seen GMAC doing it. So I know that we can do it. We just have to do it in 2025. So either way, on this play, this is just very well done, I think, by Coach Kiffin. You're going to move your running back out to the flats. The linebacker has to cover him. They're going to fake a little pitch right there. It's going to make all those linebackers bite up. Throw it to your tight end in the middle of the field, wide, stinking open. And just, easy pitch and catch. That's a big guy. He ain't scared to take a hit. We got guys like that too, right? Think about a Miles Kitselman. Think about an Ethan Davis. Think about Brain. Think about Jack. Think about Cole. We have guys who can do this exact same stuff. We just need to, I think, flex our tight ends out more and utilize them versus this sort of a defense. So same thing here, y'all. Same thing. This time it's just going to be 2 backers go with this guy. And then of course that's a free play because they end up trying to get him on that hard count. But tight end, big guy, again, man, nobody wants to hit him. They already tried to hit him once. They said, man, look, that's a big old dude. We don't want to have to do that one more time. So here, goal line situation. Tennessee did this inside of our orange and white game. We have this same play, pop pass, just sneak the guy out, sneak that tight end out, show that he's blocking, sneak him out, and easy pitch and catch. So here, 3 deep look. What Ole Miss did very, very well versus Arkansas versus this 3 deep look was double move. So this is a double move here. I know that looks crazy, but you have to have the time. Typically, whenever you got that 3 deep look, they're only bringing 3. Ole Miss's offensive line did way better than Tennessee's offensive line did last year, but our offensive line should look very, very similar. Give the guys the time. If you can be accurate down the field, you're going to win. So that's something that I would, have to anticipate that Tennessee will do a lot more of in 2025. We rarely ever run double moves. So here, very, very similar stuff where, 3 deep look, you got the running back coming out to occupy those flats. So you see that the guy with that purple line, he's going to come down, bite up on that red route. It's running things off. The gold route is going to be sitting wide open. So it's just to try to simplify, hey, this is 3 deep, but what is the coverage? Really, it's the same principles to get people open. And I think that Tennessee, I know that Tennessee can definitely draw things up like this. And, I feel like we most definitely will. And then you see with that vertical route, all 3 of the deep guys went with that. So, that's something that I think Tennessee will be able to replicate in 2025. So either way, this is Tennessee's total offense in 2024 versus Arkansas. We already talked about those passing numbers. As far as the running game goes, we did a good job there, just like we always do. 36 carries for 174 yards, 2 touchdowns. Just kind of talking about the flip side of it, I think that Tennessee did a good job versus Arkansas's running game. I think that we held them to like 3 yards per carry. They ran the football, I don't remember how many times, but one of the things about Bobby P is that he'll get away from his running game. I actually think that that's how they lost versus Oklahoma State, is that, if you slow down their running game enough, then he'll get more pass happy. Now, we did a pretty good job versus the passing game, but obviously it wasn't as good as it could have been. I think that we take that step forward in 2025. Like I said with Texas, I think that they might be the only team that held Arkansas under 200 yards passing. I don't quite quote me on that, but, there were still people kind of like running open. So it's not the easiest offense to try to stop. I wanted to make sure that I said that. But y'all can see here, these are the positive plays that's coming from our offense. So we can make things happen, okay? It's not like everything was all bad, but we have to just, there's a few little things that I feel like we can clean up. This game being in Neyland, hopefully it will impact what their offense does, and should be a lot easier for our offense because we should be able to operate with pretty much total silence. And I think that we will get this one done. I feel very good about it, but make no mistake about it, y'all. I think that this will be a tough game. Okay, we should be focused, but this is a must win. Okay, so this is one that we should most definitely be 100% dialed in for. But those are my thoughts. Please share yours with me down in the comment section. And as always, y'all, please do make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks. Peace. Thanks for watching, and please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel because that keeps us growing inside of the YouTube algorithm. And if you did like this video, here's another one that you might also enjoy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.